welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be fun to show you a holiday look because Christmas is literally in like 2 days. So I thought it would be fun, that way it would give you an idea of what you could do. Sometimes I struggle on having a little bit of motivation on what kind of eye look I want to do or what kind of just makeup look in general I want to do. So here is a look that I would love to do for Christmas. In fact, I might just redo it for Christmas. But it's just a holiday look in my opinion. It might not be to you and that's okay, but it'll be fun. So before we get started, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me and we'll get started. All right, so I did go ahead and prime my eyelids. Again, nothing fancy, just used my MAC Paint Pot. For our look today, we're gonna use my favorite palette of all time. Like if I could have one palette for the rest of my time, this is the palette that I would pick. It's by Tati Beauty, and it looks like this. I love it because it gives you 4 different formulas. So you've got your glitter, metallic, sequin, and matte shades, and then it comes in 6 shades. This is not sponsored by any means. Tati Beauty was created by Tati Westbrook, and she's another YouTuber. She has no idea who I am, so this is definitely not sponsored or anything like that. I'm just telling you, this palette is my absolute favorite. It is #1 in my collection. As you can see, it's definitely been used. We're gonna do a look with this palette just because I'm so familiar with it and I absolutely love it, and I think you can do a lot with this palette, especially a holiday look. There's a lot of options to choose from. For our first shade, I am going to go into the Matte Soothe color. These are very pigmented colors as well, so I'm gonna go in pretty light-handed. But we're gonna start that up in our crease and as a transition shade. We'll do the same to the other eye. I got the other eye a bit too high, so I'm just gonna go back to my right eye and match it. Now with this color, it looks pretty dark in the pan, but if you go in light layers, it can actually be pretty light. So I'm just taking my time and getting the pigment on there, but then I'm gonna really buff it out so it's pretty light. I actually like the color, so I'm not gonna buff it out too much, but it is fairly lighter now. For our next shade, I'm gonna go into the sequin shade of Ritual, which is this dark brown, and then it's got a little bit of sparkle in it. You didn't think I would show you a holiday look with no sparkle, did you? And it's just, I'm going with a smaller blending brush and I'm going to pop that right in the crease here. I'm not even gonna bring it down onto the lid yet. I'm just deepening up my crease. Okay, now that I've got my crease deepened up the way I would like it, I'm going to continue to bring it down onto this outer third and kind of bring it into that wing shape. Nothing too harsh, just slightly giving me that shape. Putting a dark color on your outer third of your lid gives you more of a deeper, smokier look. We will continue with that on this side. For our next shade, we're gonna go into the metallic shade of Aura. This is like one of my favorite shades in this palette. And of course, I'm just gonna use my finger and pat it on the lid. And because I struggle with getting the pigment all the way into my inner corner with my fingernails, I'm just taking my flat shader brush and we're gonna get it all the way in the corner. I'm also going to layer it up over the lid where I don't think I got enough pigment from my finger. From here, we are gonna go back into that second shade, the Sequin Ritual shade, the darker brown basically, and we're gonna go back over the crease to blend out the Aura shade and make sure we didn't lose the darker brown in the crease. And now we're also gonna build up the outer third to the smokiness level that we want. We'll do the same to this side as well, just making sure we didn't lose the darkness in our crease and blend out the Aura shade. And we'll build up the intenseness on our outer third here, the smokiness. Now we're gonna go back into our very first shade, that Matte Soothe, the lighter brown, and we're just going to blend all of it. That way we don't have such a harsh line here, and it will just fade into the top. I'm liking the way this is right now. So for my final step, you didn't think we'd go through a whole holiday look and not use the glitter row, did you? Of course not. So I am going to take the Aura shade in glitter, and I just use my fingers again These glitters are so creamy. I have never used glitter glue, but from what I understand, you don't need it with this. Just on the lid here, and I'm just going to pat it right over the Aura shimmer. And then it gives you a nice sparkle. And these glitters are really pretty, especially this color, because it's got like champagne colors, but it's also got like a teal in it and white. Oh, this is my favorite glitter of the bunch. I will tell you though, I have definitely gone overboard with these glitters before and made a mess. So just light taps and don't get too excited. And for my final step, I'm just gonna take a blank blending brush and I'm just gonna blend the edges so nothing is too harsh. Alright, this is what I've got for the lids so far. I love this palette so much. If you'd like to see more looks with this palette, like my Biba palette, I did 3 looks with one palette. Let me know if you'd like to see that with this one. This is my absolute favorite. For primer, I'm gonna take my Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. Just do about a pump and a half of that. And I place it everywhere on my face. I like this primer because it has the illuminating factor, but it's also quite tacky, and I think it helps my makeup last all day. For foundation today, I'm going to use my Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. I really enjoy this foundation because it doesn't budge, and if you touch your face, it doesn't come off on your hand. So if I put my sweatshirt on over my head, all my makeup is still going to be there. I'm just going to take it on my sponge and we will press it in. Now that I have this foundation on, I think my shade changed a little bit. My neck is quite white compared to my face. I think I'll have to wear a scarf today. Before I get too far into it, I am going to do my brows, so please enjoy the brow intermission. So for concealer, I'm just going to use my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is just my go-to. I never have any issues with it, and it always stays put. So this is why I use it so much. Plus, this tube is almost empty, so I would really like to finish it. When I was first learning about concealer, this was like one of the first ones I bought, and I thought that your concealer was supposed to be like significantly lighter than your foundation shade, like your face. So I just ordered it online, and this is what I picked. It's the shade Vanilla Light 2. When I purchased it and tried it, I was like, oh, this isn't light enough. I didn't get the right shade. Well, then the next time I purchased a concealer, picked one significantly lighter than my skin tone. Like, it's almost white. So now I have a foundation that, or not a foundation, a concealer that I really can't use because I was thinking this one was too light. But I mean, if you see, so this is the one that it's almost white on me. I only use this if I use a concealer that I think is too dark, and this will really brighten it up, or if I think I need a little more coverage, because this one's super full coverage. But like, look at the shades. This one's the correct shade, and this one's almost white. So it took a little finagling to figure out which shade was right for me. The first one I picked, which was I thought was wrong, ended up being the correct one, and I have absolutely loved the most. To set everything down, I'm going to use my Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, and I just go in with my sponge again. Make sure to tap out any lines you think your concealer left, that way you're not setting the lines. I like to use the sponge to set my eyes and my nose, like my under eyes and my nose, and then I go in with a brush to set the rest of my face. Take my big fluffy brush, I just dab a little and I swirl it around into the brush in the cap, that way it gets everywhere, and then I will set the rest of my face. And then if I feel like I got too much under my eyes, I will just sweep it away. Before I finish the complexion, I'm gonna curl my eyelashes and put a top lash mascara on, because I'm starting to see that I've got flakes of glitter everywhere. I should have done that before my foundation. And I'm actually trying out this new foundation. Well, it's new to me. It's from Thrive Causemetics. It's their liquid lash extensions. And so far, I'm liking it. So far, I've only used it once, so today will be the second day. That's pretty lengthening and volumizing. I like those. Not to mention this like container, it's like a heavy mascara tube. I'm going to use my Aesthetica Sunset Bronzer, and we are just going to warm up the cheeks, the forehead a little bit, and under the chin and jaw a little bit. This is gonna make me feel more secure about my white neck and my much darker face. For blush, I'm gonna go into my Hourglass Holiday Palette, and we're gonna mix the two blushes here. I'm gonna smile, dab it on the cheeks. And I like to bring my blush back, that way it mixes in with the bronzer and it looks more cohesive. I also like this blush because it's got a bit of a shimmer to it. Once I get my pigment on, I like to swirl it and blend it into the bronzer. Sometimes I even like to tap a little bit on my nose just to bring that color out on my nose, to put it under my nose and also under my lip. Sometimes I'll even bring it up on my forehead, just to kind of keep everything cohesive and monochromatic. And I will also put it on the sides of my chin if I really feel like it. I also like to use the highlighter in this shade, the Glistening Strobe Light here. And I'm just gonna use my highlighter brush and put that on the high points of my cheek. And I tend to like to put it above my eyebrow and like put it in a C shape down. I will also put highlight on the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose. And also the Cupid's bow. And maybe some on the chin. Just a little bit though. Once I like the look of everything, I like to go into the finishing powders also in my Hourglass Holiday Palette, which are just these two shades. And I just lightly brush it on the forehead, down the nose, under the eyes, and kind of clean up the line around the bronzer and the blush. It helps blend your highlighter in so it's not such a harsh C shape. Now that we're finished with the complexion, I'm going to finish up the lower lash line. So to start, I'm gonna go into our matte Soothe color, the lighter brown. And I just pinch the brush and we're gonna put that along the whole lower lash line. This is what happens when you're clumsy, is you drop your brush into the glitter. And now you have to dirty up another brush. I'm actually just gonna take the brush that we used to blend that didn't have any product on it because I'm lazy and don't really wanna get a whole new brush. And we'll do this side. Now we're gonna go into the deeper brown, that Ritual Sequin shade. This one. And we're just gonna put that on the outer third here. Just like we did with the top. Our last dip, I'm going to dip into the Metallic Aura shade, the light shimmer color we used. And we're gonna put that on the rest. I'm gonna put it on the inner portion and drag it out into the center as well. Now with the fallout that I already have from the glitter, I'm not gonna put glitter on my lower lash line just because I know it's not gonna stick there. And if you look and see that there might be some spots where this eye has glitter and this eye doesn't, I'm just taking a brush, like lightly tapping it into the glitter to fill in that spot. I'm gonna put on my lower lash mascara and then we'll come back for lips. So for lips, because it's a holiday and you know you're gonna be eating food, I would choose something that wouldn't look like a chunk is missing here because you took a bite of a roll, or a big chunk over here is missing because you took a bite of ham or whatever. So I would personally pick something that fades off naturally and it's not too different, like your lip color, but better. That way when you're eating and it comes off, it doesn't look so, oh, her lipstick came off. That's my opinion. You can totally do whatever you want though. I know for Christmas, a lot of people like to do a bright, bold red, and that's awesome for them. I support them and the women who can pull that off. For me though, I'm going to pick my Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Topaz. This has a little bit of a shimmer and it's a little darker than my lips, but it comes off very naturally and I really like it. We're gonna put some setting spray on now. I am going to use a mixture of my Flower Beauty setting spray and my Fix Plus. I just remembered, we forgot to do an inner corner highlight. I'm actually just gonna go back into the Aura shade, that Aura metallic shade. And we're gonna pop that in right there. That way it connects to the top and the bottom. That was a close call, I almost forgot it. So here is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed putting it together as much as I did. This is just my take on a holiday look. You can absolutely skip glitter, put on a bright red lipstick, make it bold and impressive, or keep it matte and flawless. It's just, this was my take on it. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to know what your guys' idea of a holiday look is. If you want to leave me some comments, I would love that. But for now, this is all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you haven't already, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me and it would help me keep this channel going. But for now, I will see you on my next video. I post on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thank you. Bye.